Welcome to Montenegro, a true hidden gem of the Balkans, nestled on the sparkling Adriatic coast. Often overshadowed by its more famous neighbors, this small but mighty nation packs an astonishing amount of diversity into its compact borders. Imagine a country where rugged mountains plunge dramatically into serene fjord-like bays, and where ancient walled cities whisper tales of centuries gone by. Your journey will likely begin along its stunning coastline. We're talking about the Bay of Kotor, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that's often mistaken for a Scandinavian fjord. Here, tranquil waters reflect the stoic mountains that surround it, and charming stone villages like Perast and Kotor itself seem frozen in time. Further south, the Budva Riviera comes alive with vibrant energy, offering stretches of golden sand and some of the clearest turquoise waters you'll find anywhere in Europe. But the magic of Montenegro doesn't stop at the water's edge. Venture inland, and you'll discover a wild, untamed heart. This is the land of Durmitor and Podgorica National Parks, where pristine glacial lakes mirror the sky, and the Tara River Canyon, the deepest in Europe, carves its way through the landscape. It's a paradise for adventurers, offering world-class hiking, whitewater rafting, and zip-lining with views that will leave you breathless. History is etched into every corner of this country, from the Venetian fortresses guarding the coast to the Orthodox monasteries tucked away in the mountains. You'll feel the layers of Illyrian, Roman, and Ottoman influences. And the best part? Montenegro offers all this incredible beauty and adventure without the hefty price tag of other European hotspots. It's a destination where your budget can stretch further, allowing you to savor delicious local cuisine and enjoy the warm hospitality. So if you're looking for adrenaline-pumping thrills, a deep dive into history, or simply a sun-drenched spot to relax and unwind, Montenegro is your next destination. Join us as we share everything you need to know to plan the perfect Montenegrin adventure. Montenegro is located in Southeast Europe, sharing borders with Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, Albania, and Kosovo. The official language is Montenegrin, but Serbian, Croatian, and English are also widely spoken in tourist areas. Montenegro's people are warm, proud, and known for their hospitality. The culture is a blend of Balkan traditions with Mediterranean influences, reflected in its food, music, and festivals. The country uses the euro, making it easy for travelers from Europe, and compared to other Mediterranean destinations, Montenegro is still quite affordable. Podgorica, the capital, is modern and growing fast. While it's not as touristy as other areas, it's a great entry point with vibrant cafes and nightlife. The undisputed jewel of Montenegro is the magnificent Bay of Kotor. While often called Europe's southernmost fjord, it's technically a ria, a submerged river canyon creating a dramatic and sheltered inlet of the Adriatic Sea. This unique geography gives it an otherworldly feel, with dark, imposing mountains rising directly from the shimmering, deep blue waters. The bay is a breathtaking fusion of natural grandeur and centuries of human history, where ancient stone towns cling to the water's edge, seemingly untouched by time. It's a place that invites you to slow down and immerse yourself in its serene beauty. Your journey begins in the heart of the bay, the UNESCO-protected medieval old town of Kotor. Prepare to get wonderfully lost in its labyrinth of winding cobblestone streets, hidden courtyards, and sun-drenched piazzas. The architecture tells stories of its Venetian past. For a truly local experience, embrace Kotor's reputation as the City of Cats. They're the town's beloved residents. For a cheap and delicious bite, grab a fresh burek, a savory pastry, from a local pekara or bakery. It's the perfect fuel for exploring. For the most unforgettable view, you must hike up to the San Giovanni Fortress. The climb involves 1,355 stone steps that zigzag up the mountain, a journey through history itself. A pro tip for budget travelers: start early in the morning or late in the afternoon to avoid the intense midday sun and the cruise ship crowds. Bring plenty of water and wear sturdy shoes. There's a small entrance fee, but the reward at the top is priceless. A jaw-dropping panoramic vista of the entire bay, with the old town nestled below like a miniature model. A short drive from Kotor lies the impossibly charming and tranquil town of Perast. This sleepy Baroque village feels frozen in time, a peaceful contrast to Kotor's bustle. From its waterfront, you can hire a small water taxi for just a few euros to visit the bay's most iconic site, the man-made island of Our Lady of the Rocks. Legend says it was built over centuries by local seamen who would lay a rock in the bay after every successful voyage. The island's church and museum are filled with fascinating maritime artifacts and silver votive plaques, testaments to the faith of local sailors. The Bay of Kotor is more than just a list of sights. It's an experience. It's the feeling of the sun on your skin after a swim in the cool, clear water. It's the taste of fresh seafood at a waterfront canoba as the sun sets behind the mountains. It's a place that captures your heart and calls you to return, promising new discoveries with every visit. Take your time, breathe it all in, and let the timeless magic of the bay work its spell on you. Montenegro's Adriatic coast is famous for its beaches, especially around Budva. This seaside town mixes medieval walls with lively nightlife. Don't miss Sveti Stefan, an exclusive island resort that's one of the most photographed places in the country. For nature lovers, head north to Durmitor National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Hike through dramatic peaks, kayak on Black Lake, or raft down the Tara River Canyon, one of the deepest in the world. The best time to visit depends on your plans. For beaches and warm weather, May to September is perfect. If you prefer hiking and fewer crowds, spring and autumn offer cooler weather and vibrant colors. So, you're dreaming of Montenegro, but what's it actually going to cost? Let's dive deep into a realistic budget for an unforgettable week. Montenegro has a well-deserved reputation for being one of Europe's most affordable coastal destinations, but your final spend can vary wildly depending on your travel style. We're going to break it all down, from shoestring backpacking to comfortable mid-range travel, so you can plan the perfect trip without any financial surprises. First up, the biggest expense for any trip, accommodation. The great news is, Montenegro offers fantastic value across the board. For a comfortable mid-range hotel or a well-appointed private apartment, especially in popular spots like Kotor, Budva, or Herceg Novi, you can expect to pay between €40 and €70 per night. This typically gets you a clean, modern room with a private bathroom, air conditioning, and often, a stunning view of the bay or mountains. For a full week, this puts your lodging cost in the range of €300 to €500, a fraction of what you'd pay in neighboring Croatia or Italy for similar quality. But what if you're on a tighter budget? No problem. Montenegro's hostel scene is thriving. You can find a bed in a clean, sociable hostel dorm for as little as €15 to €25 per night. This is a fantastic way to save money and meet fellow travelers. Another brilliant local option is staying in a sobe or private guest house. These are rooms rented out in local family homes, offering a more authentic experience for around €25 to €40 a night. Now let's talk about one of the best parts of any trip, the food and drink. This is where Montenegro truly shines for budget-conscious foodies. You can eat incredibly well without breaking the bank. For a sit-down meal, look for a konoba, a traditional tavern serving hearty, delicious local fare. Here you can feast on Montenegrin specialties like Njeguški prosciutto, fresh local cheeses, grilled seafood caught that morning, or a hearty plate of siva pie. A main course in a good konoba will typically set you back just €10 to €15. For a full day of eating out at these kinds of restaurants, a budget of €20 to €30 per person is very realistic, totaling around €150 to €200 for the week. But the savings don't stop there. For an ultra-budget-friendly and delicious lunch, head to a local pekara, or bakery. For just €1 or €2 you can get a huge slice of burek, a flaky pastry filled with meat, cheese, or spinach that will keep you going for hours. Another must-try are the street-side grills selling pljeskavica, the Balkan version of a hamburger, for just €3 to €5. If you're staying in an apartment or hostel with a kitchen, visit the local pihaka, or green market. You can stock up on fresh seasonal produce, local olive oil and cheeses for next to nothing. Even drinks are refreshingly affordable. A local Nixiko beer will cost you about €2 at a cafe, a glass of excellent local Vranak wine is around €3, and a morning coffee rarely costs more than €1.50. Getting around this compact country is another area where you can tailor your spending. To have the ultimate freedom to explore hidden coves, mountain viewpoints, and remote villages, renting a car is undoubtedly the best option. The flexibility is priceless. You can expect to pay around €35 to €40 per day for a basic compact car, which comes to about €250 to €300 for a week, not including fuel. A word of warning, the roads can be narrow and winding, especially in the mountains, and local drivers can be assertive. Parking in popular towns like Kotor and Budva can also be a challenge in the high season. However, if you're looking to save money, Montenegro's public bus system is an excellent alternative. It's extensive, surprisingly comfortable, and incredibly cheap. You can travel between major coastal towns like Kotor and Budva for just €3 or €4. While it might be slower and won't get you to the most off-the-beaten-path locations, it's a perfectly viable way to see the main highlights of the country. A smart strategy can be a hybrid approach. Use the affordable buses for long-distance travel between cities, and then rent a car for just a day or two to explore a specific area, like the dramatic landscapes of Durmitor National Park. Finally, let's budget for activities. Many of Montenegro's greatest pleasures are completely free. Wandering the medieval labyrinth of Kotor's Old Town, sunbathing on the beaches of the Budva Riviera, and hiking to breathtaking viewpoints costs nothing but your time and energy. For paid attractions, the costs are very reasonable. A must-do is climbing the city walls of Kotor for that iconic view, which costs around €8 to €15 per person. Entrance to national parks like Lake Skadar or Durmitor is typically just €3 to €5. A group boat trip around the magnificent Bay of Kotor, often including a visit to the Blue Cave and Our Lady of the Rocks, will cost about €25 to €35. For the adrenaline junkies, a full-day whitewater rafting trip on the spectacular Tara River Canyon, often including meals, can be found for €50 to €70. All in all, you can have a very active week filled with unique experiences by setting aside a modest activities budget of €50 to €100 per person. So what's the grand total? For a comfortable mid-range traveler, staying in private apartments, eating at Canobas and renting a car, our estimate of €800 to €1,100 per person for 1 week is a solid target. This gives you a fantastic, hassle-free holiday. But if you're a backpacker staying in hostels, eating from bakeries and markets and using the bus system, you could have an equally amazing week for as little as €350 to €500 per person. This incredible range is what makes Montenegro so special. When you place these costs side by side with its more famous neighbors, the value becomes crystal clear. That seaside dinner that might cost you €50 in Dubrovnik could be just €25 here with an equally stunning Adriatic sunset. The hotel room with a balcony overlooking the water is half the price of what you'd find in France or Italy. Montenegro isn't just a budget destination. It's a destination that delivers a world-class Mediterranean experience for a price that feels like a well-kept secret. It's proof that you don't have to compromise on beauty, history, or adventure to have an affordable European escape. Montenegro may be small, but it's a country of endless discoveries. From historic towns and golden beaches to rugged mountains and deep canyons. Whether you're chasing adventure or relaxation, Montenegro is proof that the best treasures often come in small packages.